This is the 7th and final part of City in the Sky, and in this part we're going to be battling the boss,
Argorok.
I can never pronounce that right.
Yeah. That's actually one of the easier ones, but yeah.
I know, for some reason it gives me fits. But
you just got to know like how the letters are all put together, I guess.
Yep.
But I was never strong at spelling either, so...
But I like the fact this is one of the few dungeons that I can think of in any Zelda game where we got a preview look at the boss.
Yes, before.
So, and we hit on that. That was all the way back in part 1 or 2. Where we saw him break the bridge you were walking on. So long ago. And now we're finally getting to confront this guy. I thought it was cool to get a sneak peek of it.
And this is one of my favorite boss fights in all of Legend of Zelda. Just this whole like stage, it's not really stage, but just like this whole open area right here. It just makes it feel really grand and really epic. And
plus this view.
Yeah, with that too. But yeah, like I just love how it's kind of a slower boss fight in the beginning.
It is.
But it's just awesome seeing him fly like all the way around and come in from a distance and stuff. Just an awesome boss fight.
Speaking of seeing him fly, man, it's amazing to think how far they've come. Since you remember all the way back in Ocarina of Time, the dragon we fought was Volvagia.
Yep.
And he looked like he didn't look anything like this. He didn't even have wings. He was
he did have wings.
He was more of a serpent than a dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
he was flying though.
Now you got this guy flying around, flapping his wings. Looks fantastic. I know the hardware's come a long way since Nintendo 64. But it's crazy how the improvement on the dragon model that they've done.
Yeah.
Because there haven't been that many dragon bosses since
there really hasn't. And that's another reason why I like this, like being outside, because we've not had many boss fights that took place outside.
Oh, very few. And it does add to the epic feel of it.
But just like that whole, like the outside, the wind, the big dragon, and the claw shots, and the verticality of like claw shot into those pillars or whatever you want to say. Just, I mean, it all comes together, and sadly, it's not my favorite boss fight in this game because of Star-Lord.
Well,
which is the best. Like, we always respect everybody's opinions, but I don't know. If you don't have Star-Lord high,
that boss fight is epic.
We respect your opinion. We're just kidding.
But no, I agree. Like, and I feel like that sense of being able to go up these pillars and then later on the P-hats. Combined with the fact that we're outdoors, makes it feel like just a huge, one of the biggest arenas to fight.
I was going to say arena actually, but it's not really an arena. But but stage,
the general term. It just makes it feel like a bigger area, like you have more freedom to run around.
And you can see like around you, this is the highest spot we've been up to this point too.
Yep, because everything around us is just propellers.
And you can see like the wind's kind of picked up and it's non-stop in this area. So I mean, just like a little thing right there. Okay, you're higher, and I think and I don't really know about. I don't know what the term is for that stuff. Meteorology, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like it's more windy the higher you get. So it's like a little aspect like that.
Plus, then once he starts flapping his wings too, I think they can push you off, can't they?
Oh yeah, they can. Like you got to actually use the iron boots to keep him from doing that.
Yeah, and that might not be till the second stage of the fight.
No, it's right here. It's right here.
Oh, okay, okay.
When he flies by, like he'll stop, and then when he flies by, his the wind force, his wings can push you off.
Gotcha. And I'll tell you what, man. You mentioned just a second ago how we're already at the highest point in the dungeon. Once you start climbing these pillars or whatever they are, and then later you go even higher on the P-hats, it's like you get so far up.
Oh, you really do.
And the view, just this view right here. And you see all these areas you've been, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
it's so tiny.
And that's cool. You're kind of reminiscing.
Yep.
And it's already bringing back memories. You're probably paying attention a lot to the boss fight, but still, it's bringing back memories of going through like the dungeon.
Yep. It's just great visuals.
Yeah, it really is. Like, and this whole dungeon has really been great visuals.
And we've found that before. Like, some of the views and looks that you get when you're outdoors are just something that's just not there in many dungeons, and we love it in this one.
And one thing I don't understand right here is, if he has a little bit of armor left, why would you just knock it all off right there?
I know.
You would think you keep, like, every piece of armor you have on you, instead of just, I'm done.
Yeah, like, we don't need that.
We already show her capable of, like, kind of not defeating you, but putting a hurt on you.
Yeah.
Why you would get rid of your armor is beyond me.
I will say though, as soon as you hit that second stage when it starts raining,
the
lightning starts going. I love how the weather changes with the stage and the fight. Plus, I know we played this well before we played Skyward Sword, or at least I did.
Yeah.
But as soon as I went back and rewatched this, all I could think of was the final fight with
Demise in that second phase, how it starts lightning and you use the Skyward Strikes.
And it looks so gorgeous in that game. And even though this game's a little further behind.
Yeah, they were both on the Wii, so I mean, it wasn't really that far behind. I thought this game looked better on the Wii U. Oh, yeah, because it up converts it a little bit, not a lot.
I agree.
But I thought this game actually looked better.
And I just love that aspect of this fight, though. Like as I said, as soon as you get that lightning starts, you just it jogged that memory.
Well, it's just awesome right here. I mean, you're up on top of this huge pillar. You look tiny. It's lightning. You got wind blowing outside. You got dragon. You're double Clawshot your way across P-hats. I mean, it just all comes together. And if you look up awesome in the dictionary, you see an image right here of this fight.
Oh, wait till he starts blowing fire at you too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's kind of why you'll see me kind of standing a couple times.
Yep.
It's because I'm just waiting for him to start blowing fire. Then.
Because that lets you work your way around to the behind him, where you can hookshot that spot on or Clawshot. I can call it hookshot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can Clawshot that spot.
It's been called a hookshot in other games too.
Yeah, exactly. Where you can finally Clawshot that spot on his back and really then you're riding the dragon. And
I love when you like get him right here and then he falls all the way down to the bottom. That's awesome.
Thankfully, it doesn't land on top of you.
No, well, you would kind of do like a sweet backflip right there.
Right off of him. It's just
oh man, sweet move.
It's like so many little things just come together great in this boss fight. From the visuals to the
I think that backflip as he got down to the ground was one of my favorite parts of the whole boss fight.
That's when you know you're a BA.
Like he should just put his hand up right there and show a Triforce of Courage.
Yep, I got this fight.
Drop the sword, game ends.
It's just such great little things like that. I mean, this is a great boss fight. I mean, again, not number one in the game because of Star-Lord.
But I would probably put this as one of my top 5 boss fights in the whole Zelda series.
It's up there. It does just feel more epic.
I haven't thought about that ranking, but I'm thinking it will go up.
We need to start thinking about that at some point, but...
we got 20 rankings we need to think.
That's a good point. Another thing I love about fighting a dragon, like I'm a big fan of like the fantasy genre of like books, movies, TV shows. Obviously, Game of Thrones, TV shows. Yeah. But like, hey, another shout out, HBO. We're here for you.
We need some Valerian steel. That's what we need.
Yes. But like, I've always been a fan of that genre. So when you get to fight like a dragon, for me that just feels like the dragon's always like the pinnacle of like power and evil and greed and all this stuff. So when you fight them, it just feels so much more like important, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, I guess every boss in Zelda games are important.
but Chuck, you get this like, there's like, boss fights are always good. Well, no, they're not always good. But like, there's few that you just really get like an epicness feeling. Like you feel like you might not stand up, but you feel like standing up, and you're really into the battle. And Galactus was one of that.
Oh my god!
But this one, I just feel like I really got into the battle.
Yep. And I think a lot of that has to. I know we've harped on this a little bit, but like the scenery for it, the arena, or not arena, but the setting for it was just such a big factor in this. And of course, you're fighting the freaking dragon.
Yeah, and also, I mean, like we see some bosses that like are kind of like. They're smaller, I guess, like not as big on the scale as you would like. I mean, this guy, his wings are huge. It looks like a huge dragon.
Yep. Plus,
and that's saying a lot for how big of an area we're fighting in.
I know.
Because it can make, like, this big of an area can make something big look small.
Yeah.
And he still looks pretty big.
I would say this can kind of be a little bit of a long fight. I know we've repeated ourselves a few times here. And it's a little
Not the first time we've done that, but yes, we have repeated ourselves a couple times.
It's a little more methodical.
You know what I would like, though, maybe? Is if those P-hats would have been below the dragon. Because then I would have felt like, okay, he's a lot more powerful than us still.
Yeah.
Like those P-hats being above it.
It's like, why doesn't he fight
I feel like I had the advantage. Like, I was more powerful, which you always end up being more powerful in the end of the boss fight.
Well, obviously, because you kill him.
Well, not for us always. We get killed sometimes.
Not always.
But
not always.
I feel like I wish he would have been above us. Because that way, it would feel like he was more powerful than us.
Yep.
And then when we finally would have beat him, we had a good feeling. But we had like a more epic feeling, I guess.
That's a pretty epic shot of him falling out of the sky like that. But to kind of go along with your point, though, how cool would it have been if we'd like been hanging on his underside? Like you said, if we got him from underneath, you start stabbing him from under, like try to stab his heart or something. I mean, I agree.
Dude, they need to remake this game and like implement our ideas.
Yes, consultants, right?
Double Clawshots to bring both enemies to you, and shoot his underbelly and stabbing him from the bottom. Fantastic idea, Red.
I think that would have been like...
You're on the next Zelda game, if I have anything to say about it.
I think that would have been as good a visual as you riding the dragon.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like...
Maybe if you stab him from the bottom, and then you somehow flip over to the top of it.
Well, you got 2 hook shots, you could probably work your way there somehow.
Or you could climb up on the other side or something like that.
Yeah.
But you stab his underside a couple times, and then you gotta get on top and stab his back, and then...
That would have been awesome.
Oh, man.
We need more artists to draw this
ideas tonight.
Our creative juices, well, some juices is flowing here.
Yeah.
The creative juices are definitely flowing.
That contributes to the creative juices.
Exactly. But all in all, it's a dungeon that we both hated at first.
Yes.
You loved it the second time through.
Absolutely loved it.
I've enjoyed watching and commentating here. Makes me want to go back and replay it at one of these points. But you combine that with an epic boss, I think you got a pretty darn good dungeon. And this wraps up The City in the Sky.